well.
All right, so our project was in a good shape. There were little problems that we will just quickly solve today. So I would very quickly go into what we were doing last time when we left. I think not. I will just do that right now. Just give me a second and I'll do that because I was unable to do. I'll just do that right now. So the code that we did, I will just upload that exact same code so that everyone is on the same page. Let me delete this from here.
Also, I saw that. I saw walking, right? Okay. Yeah, that brings it. So wow, that's so
Okay, keep your teams open. I'll be sharing this on the teams because
I see this guy. I just do it like the walking. I'm like, oh. I turned around. He's like, he turned around like, right, that's what that's it. So, all the guys think they're so loud. Yeah, all the things are so loud. You can uptrack it. That's awesome. Ian and I took the time.
all right. So can you access that? I have shared that on the teams. If you have that one, you can just go there. What I will need now is npm install because I just removed my node modules from there. So I'm just doing that. In the meantime, you should be able to access that particularly. So everyone, please, who do not have that code, go to the teams and find out code there on our teams. Okay, so the project is right now, install is done. So I'll just run that one, npm run dev. And also, you know that I need to run my server as well, because right now we are dealing with the server. So if I run my file right now, you will see that I won't get maybe any tasks here. So I have no tasks here. Why? Because the server is not running. I'll come here on my second terminal and I'll reach to that particular one. And I'll run npm run server. So you remember, I want to run my server. So that server runs here. And now it should have, if I refresh this, it should get tasks. And remember there was a problem and we'll discuss that one. So the problem is right now, if I go to the server and where it is running on 5,000, right? Localhost 5,000/tasks. Localhost colon 5,000/tasks. Oh, was it? I changed the port, maybe. Yeah. So you see that My server is not running on 5,000, rather it is running on 8,000, right? So yes, it is on 8,000. Now see here, of course, sorry. Running in the server, you just need to go to the same, first of all, in the terminal, you need to go to the same like folder, like task tracker, and npm run server. And the server is basically a script that we have added in our package.json. Remember, I can show you that. It's actually our own server. It's our own server. And it's practically the server running like Gmail or like, any other server. We have started that server. So, yeah. Sorry. Okay, that's an interesting question. He asked that do the every server look like the same? So here is the point. Listen, all websites, when they are published, when they are, they are basically they go on. So they actually set up their servers online. And look at here, how we are accessing this 8,000 server. I'm saying localhost colon 5,000. Why? Because this is right now in my own machine, but I have set up a server. It looks like it's imitating or it looks like a main server. But when websites, they go on publish, they have their own server set up. And what is their server name? Google.com, for example, gmail.com. So their server has this name. And my server is called localhost. Or I know the IP as well, 127.0.0.1. Now, what I'm trying to say, when websites go online live, they have their own servers, and these servers are not in our machines by the way. These servers are set up somewhere with the domains, big domains or large servers. And what happens is that when we access, let's talk about that rackres.in. Remember that we used to bring the users for the first time? Rackres.in is a server running somewhere. I don't know where it is. But I know that if I write rackres.in/API/users, I will hit a particular endpoint where I know that there are users residing there, 6 users. Make sense? So I don't know where that rackres is being uploaded, but yes, it would be effectively working the same way that they have started the server 24/7, that server is available. And whenever someone goes and requests something from rackres, that is available to them. Make sense? So yes, one way or other, servers work the same. And what we do when we make our website, we actually set up our own servers. And we are expecting. Now, I have created this server. I'm accessing this by using this application. I can have a PHP application, some other application. And I say I want to get data from this server. So I can always get that. I will go to localhost 8,000 and I know that there's my server ready. In the same way, for example, you access gmail.com, anyone can access Gmail because Gmail is up and running, and I just go there and access that. Make sense? So here what we are doing, our server is now running, and now that server has, yes. Sorry? Oh, no, not at all. All servers have their own, own way of storing data, own way of handling the requests. Now here comes these are very good questions. By the way, I just wanted to know the nitty-gritties of that. So for example, Gmail says that we have made our server. Let's talk about it. We have made our server by using PHP. One of the popular, server-side scripting. So what they say, they've used a PHP to set up their server. Now, they say that our server has a database as well, and that database is in MySQL. Have you heard about MySQL? MySQL. MySQL is one of the database. So now what happens when you make a request to that Gmail? Gmail says we run PHP code. We have a database there in MySQL. We go and grab data from there. We prepare a response for you, and we send that response back into your machine. Did you get that? So every server actually acts according to its own, implementations. We have right now done what? We have done a very simple JSON server that is not typically doing all that server do. But what it is doing, it is maintaining a db.json or a database.json file that when we access something, it provides us the data. When I want to fetch something, I go there and it provides me data. Make sense? So that's actually how this is happening. And every server runs according to its own implementations. Now, here comes the concept. So server is running. Now, you remember that we had a problem, and I'll solve that one. But first of all, let's add a new task. Let's try to add a new task and see what it is doing. April 1, 2025, checkbox, submit. And if I come here, you see that this task is coming properly. And there was one function which is causing this problem. And you remember which was the function that we were last working on? It was toggle reminder. You guys remember toggle reminder was creating this problem. And see here, if I just close this form and I come here and I toggle its reminder. So it gives me that proper reminder. And if I go here, you will see that it has changed the reminder to false. But when I come here and I change its reminder, for example, and I come here and I refresh that, and I come back here, I refresh that, it is still, maintaining this task. But anyhow, we'll just see that why it is just, doing all those bad stuff. Now, to solve that issue, because we had that issue in the toggle reminder, can you all open the toggle reminder where we were working? It was toggle reminder. It is here. This was the function we were working on. Remember, we did the fetch and everything over here. Now, I'm just doing one thing because, here we were just fetching the task over here in the same way as we were fetching it from there. So now, just give me a second. I think this is not the right file open. This is not this one. Let me just close everything because, I want to open. It is yesterday's files are open. And now I'll show you. This is our app.jsx. Yes. So look at that. We were fetching the task here and we were making a put request. And what was happening that it used to update the task, but the rest of the tasks were gone. Make sense? Now, see here what I'm doing. I'll just come here. Do you remember that we had fetch tasks method that was fetching the particularly multiple tasks over here? That was, do you guys remember that we created this function? Do you guys see that fetch task? Now this function I will use first of all to fetch task from the server over here. And still I would like to just see that. Oh my God. Yes. I'm saying continuously because I did not do that over there. So I was saying why it is happening. And you know why it is happening? Because I'm still not in the right one. I bet. So I'll close this section 2 and I'll delete this section 2 by the way. And come here. And here will be the real culprit, right? And src and app.jsx. Now look at that. This was our culprit, right? We're fetching that over here. Now listen, what we are doing. Instead of fetching this task over here, I will go to the top or maybe anywhere. I'll create a function to bring one task from the server. And that would really help me out to fetch one task from the server. Remember, we have right now a function that actually brings all the tasks from the server. But now I want to create one function that will bring one task, like, fetch task. Now let's do that. So I'll say const fetch task is equal to. Now, since it has to fetch the task, so it will accept an ID. Remember everyone, because it will bring one task. So it will be bringing one task. So it has an ID. Now, sorry. What is saying? And now let's do that. It would do what? Const res is equal to fetch. And see here, we're using the backticks. As you can see, it is just generating that HTTP localhost. And I'll just, hit a tab here. Sorry. Yes, we need async await. That's wonderful. We need async await. We will just do that. So we'll make this function as async. That was Saran. You were saying that same? Okay, wonderful. So async await and bring one task from the server. Right? And now let's produce the data out of it. Const data is equal to, again, await rest dot JSON. And you do what? Just return the data. And this will be only one task whose ID will be passed to it, right? This will be only one task whose ID will be passed to it. And we can use this one to just bring the task from the server. And now on the toggle reminder, what we'll do? Right. So here in the task to toggle, rather than I would not be just using this one now, because now I'll be using that my method, right? So what I'll say, task to toggle is equal to await and do what? Anyone? Use the fetch task, the singular fetch task, right? And pass the ID to this one. Yes, we are using await. Why? Because this fetch task is also when it will return the data, because you have to wait for that data to come up. So now this fetch task will provide me the data. And now I don't need this console. Remember, we did this console just to check that one because it was not working fine. So we have just done that one. And now rest is equal to await. And now here I would say fetch the task over here and do the put on that task, right? And rest, I think everything should be fine. And I hope that now it should work fine with everything. Let's first of all delete these tasks from here, and they should go from the server away as well. Now let's come back and let's add a new task here. Something, checkbox, submit, close that. So this something comes up over here. Something is here as well. Now I come there, I double click on this one. So you see that last time what was happening, the rest of the tasks were going right. And now if I just come here, it refresh, see that it has gone false. It has gone true from the false. Make sense? So this is what we have done. We have just practically looked into that one. So we have just made a little change here in the code. And the change is that I have created a new function called fetch task, and I'm fetching the task separately, not in the main function. Line 36. Yeah. So while we are using the fetch over here, this is very important because here I want to make a put request. Now listen, this is very important for why is asking. Now here what I'm doing, I'm saying that response is equal to await, fetch this task again from the server, and do a method of put, and do what? Rest of that. There should be a header as well over there. We won't be using fetch task over here. Now, can someone answer why? He's asking a very valid question. He says that, can I use that fetch task again, this fetch task again over here? Can I use that? Anyone, any idea? Let's say a generic answer. What do you think that? Yes.
I think not, because you can repeat this same process when it says constant data.
Okay. Generally speaking, the fetch task is also doing exactly the same.
Why?
We can change the name of the data. That's not an issue. But I have another, I want someone to come up with it. Can I use the fetch task method again over here or not? No. Why, Pavan, no?
Because we need to put information on the server.
Now listen, Krish. Yes, wonderful. Here, actually, I have to make a put call. And put call is actually made with fetch, not fetch task. Are you guys getting that one? So yes, this is the answer. So this fetch is, actually what this fetch is doing. It's originally doing what? It's applying the put method, define the function type, and then stringifying the updated task that we have updated. And now it will be when this runs, it means that it has gone to the server and made a change in that one.
Okay, so the first function was converting the data into HTML, right?
The first function, this one fetch task?
Yeah.
Yeah. So fetch task is providing in a task in a normal JavaScript format. I get that task. Now what I do? I create an updated task because now this toggle task to toggle is a normal JavaScript task that I have. Makes sense? Normal JavaScript object that I have. I spread it out and I say go to the reminder. And I say just flip it. Whatever is in the toggle is this in this task, whatever is the reminder, just flip it around and flip it and save this in the reminder. So are we changing the reminder only from the task? So updated task has a flipped reminder. Now see here, what I do, then I say make a put request.
Okay.
So not again, for the first time, because we have not any request over here. We have just converted the task into our required form. Its reminder is now changed as per how it was required to be, as per what I wanted to. Now I say make a fetch request with what? Put. That makes sense? So if I bring fetch task over here, I'm actually killing the purpose, and this fetch has actually that purpose because we have named it fetch task. That does not mean that it becomes a fetch. Fetch is the API here, right? So all those operations that we have done, they will always be done with the fetch API. Fetch, not fetch task or fetch tasks, so to speak. If you look at the other methods as well, you will find out whenever we are making a request, we will use fetch. Make sense? Fetch. Bring that task, go to that task, make a put, and just updated task should be there. Now, if I ask you a question, instead of reminder, if I make any other change, can you guys guess that? For example, instead of reminder, I say day and colon and I write, April 1, for example. So do you know whenever I will double click that, what will happen? In the database, my task will be changed and just the day will be changed. Whatever day is, it will be changed to something else. Are you guys getting that one? That will happen. Yes.
The updated task is only one task, right?
Yes.
But when you stringify that, how the other task remains there?
Okay. Okay. So his question is that updated task is just one task because we are bringing just one task. And he says that when you stringify this one, right? When you stringify it, he says that how the rest of the tasks still remain intact. Do you know what's happening? Amjad, can you reply? I know that you should know the answer. He says that updated task is one task. Then you do something over here, and then you do stringify over here. He thinks that maybe the rest of the task should also be, this should be disturbed or should be changed. Should be gone. He says that they all should be gone. So do you have any idea of what he's trying to say? And can you just reply to that one?
I think it's, that won't happen because of the ID. But
He's right. That won't happen because of the ID. Because right now it is only one task. One task comes. What happens to that? The rest of them are never touched. Look, for the task to toggle, we have brought one task from there. It comes. JavaScript object is there. I toggle its reminder. After toggling reminder, I say make a fetch request. So just one task will be affected. Rest of them will be at their own place. We are not even touching rest of them. Make sense? If there are millions of tasks, only one will be changed. Make sense? So now this is what now our task is doing, and this is wonderful. Now we will talk about some more interesting stuff. So now our application looks quite good. Look at that. Now it looks like a more so of a database type of driven application. I can add new tasks. And I can just leave out the reminder. I just keep on adding the task. You see that tasks keep on adding. Or I can just close that one. I can remove a task from here. And as I do all these stuff, you see that tasks get updated. So we have a pretty much working, application over here, which looks great. Now, let's start talking about some fun stuff. Like first of all, we have to discuss, there are no routes being set in this application. What do you mean by route? So for example, if I say /about, maybe there should be an about component that comes up. Are you guys making sense of it? Maybe there should be something. So we are about to start that routing in our application, and we try to make it more and more interesting. Now, all of you just come in our application, and I'll try to be very slow so that you follow along with me. I'll go to my components again. And in my components, I'll create a new component and I'll call it footer.jsx first of all. Let's create first a footer.jsx. Footer.jsx. Now let's create the component, RFCE. Component is here. Right? And I just want to, literally, I want that it returns a footer because, for the code, it should return a footer. And in this footer, for example, first of all, I want to say a paragraph and I say copyright 2025, and you can write your own name here. I write my name, right? So that one, for example, and then it has a anchor, which is about. I will wait for everyone who is typing along that when you are done, then I'll move. So I have a paragraph, copyright 2025, my name. You can write your own name, of course. And then there is an ahref. I'm not given the link, by the way, where it is linked to, but I've just given ahref, right? Anchor. And I would show you that what do I mean. So let's create this footer. And now I want to bring this footer in my app. And I would like to show you that as well. Let's bring it over here. So now I want to bring it in app. Step number 1, everyone remembers. What should I do? Import. And what is the name? Footer from /components/footer. Make sense, everyone? And now where do I want to display it? I want to display it at the end. I'll go to end of my document. And you see that where I was just bringing this U effect and U effect 2. I'll just remove them just for no reason because I don't need them. So I call footer here. Make sense, everyone? Now we have got the footer here. I would like to just remember the styling where we are doing styling. Let's do a styling for the footer. I want to bring it in the center. So I can, since I will have only one footer, so I can just write a footer styling, for the element. And I say text align center. Look at that. And maybe I would like to have a font size a little bit smaller. And I say 0.7 RAM. Let's do that. Looks good. Oh, it has a footer also written. I want to remove that footer, by the way, but we'll do that. So 0.7 RAM, this looks good. And I would like to give a margin top so that it is a little bit offset from the top, 20 pixel. Or maybe let's make it more, 30 pixel. Just be a little bit away from the top, margin top. Now I'll again go to the footer and I want to remove this footer because I don't need this, right? I just need about like this. Now I'm not given any link. Don't worry about that. I'll talk about that link, that what we have to do. Now let's come back and create another component and I'll call this about.jsx. Now create about.jsx. Now in about, what I'll do, let's first of all create that RFC, right? And I'll just keep the div because about does not have any specific element. So I'll first of all write H5 and I'll say version of the software 1.0.0, right? And I write here also a link anchor and I link to home. Right? And I've not given any link over here as well, right? Just made a link, made it a link. Now, of course, about is not visible anywhere. I'm not bringing about because I will now do the what we are just where we are starting. Now let's go back to our terminal. We need to install something. Whenever we want to make routing in our React application, let's come back here. And I might want to open another terminal because, just don't want to disturb my server and everything, right? So open up a new terminal and come to this one. Now see here, I've just reached over here. And now if I write, now see, I'll install npm install for I React router DOM. We have to install React router DOM. Everyone please follow along. React router DOM. Hit enter. And after hitting enter, I'll just kill this terminal because I don't need that. It's installed. If I go to my package.json, I'll show you first of all. Package.json, you will find out that this will be added to the dependencies 740 React router DOM, right? 740, wonderful. Any version is for that matter, not a problem. So whenever we have to do the routing in our application, we use React router. This is the first thing that we will be just, starting with that one. Now, React router DOM provides us a lots of interesting stuff that we can use. First of all, we need to import few things from the React router DOM. Look at that. The first thing I need to import is called browser router. I will call it as router. So I'm aliasing that one. Browser router as router. Right? First of all. Also, I need routes. Routes. Also, I need route. Like three things: router, routes, and route. Look at that. Oh, from where? React router DOM. You will find this as an option. From React router DOM, I want to bring these three things. Browser router as router, router, and routes. Make sense, everyone? I'm just trying to make a routing. We are trying to create the routing over here. Now, so after that, now see, how will we do that? We'll come to our app.jsx. I'll close all the functions, because I want just one liner for everything. Here, on my app.jsx, remember what I will do, that in app.jsx, everything which is on app should be wrapped around in the router that we have installed, that we have imported. Look at that. I have to wrap around my everything. So in return, I will just write router at the very top, like we used to write fragment, remember? And after the div, I'll close that. Look at that. I'll show you. I just use router. So everything should be surrounded in router when you want to make routes. Make sense? This is the first thing. Everything should be inside the router. Done, everyone? And remember where I have closed that. I'll show you. I've closed that after the div. So it's in my return, router starts and router ends with this bracket, right? Everything should be there. Okay, step number 1. Step number 2. See where I'm going. I'm going after this bracket before footer. And I will call here something called routes. I want to create routes over here for my application. I want to create route. Why it is giving this error? Did I accidentally delete something? Oh, you see that? That React's issue. It's all good, right? Now see here, before footer and after this curly bracket, I've come here. Look at that. And I call routes. Routes. Make sense? Because I want to create the routes over here now. So routes is basically an area where you will put practically the routes over there. Make sense? Now, let's create first route now. Ultimately, we have reached to the route. Route path is equal to /about. Now look at that. Element is equal to that I want to open. In curly brackets, I will write about. And I will now close the route. Look at the syntax carefully because it at times it becomes a little bit confusing. Make sense? So route path is equal to /about. So I'm creating a path /about, right? So someone can come and write /about and that would become a path. Make sense? Now, if I hit save, we have done our job. Now, let's go to the application. Now, I'm not getting anything. And you know why? Now, I'll show you the error. And I would like you to find out the error rather. Because I know what is the error. And I'll show you. Look at the error. Who can find what typically is the error? There are lots of errors showing. But there is one error that really makes more sense. and that will solve all the issues. Which one is that? No. Who will find out that? It's an interesting problem. No, I don't need you. I don't need you to talk. Right? I want everyone to give it. I know you know the answer. Can someone tell me which one is the real error? Which is, if I just solve that, this all error will go and my program will run back.
Not defined.
Sorry?
About is not defined.
About is not defined. I've not imported about. Remember, I imported the footer, but I not imported. And I'm using the about over here. So it says you have not defined that. Importing typically means here you are defining that one. You know what I mean? So now let's go there and let's do that. I intentionally did that so that, you also use a little bit of your mental capacity, right? Okay, so let's come back. Let's go to the top. And here, after that, I'll say import, about, from, dot / components / about. Now see, my program will be now fine. Look at that, it's fine. Now you see that already my path is open about. I'll just come here and I'll just remove that. Look at that. When I run my application, there is no about component. There is no about component. But do you guys see something interesting here? When I come here, somehow, if I come here and I say /about, hit enter. Look at that. Do you guys see that? About comes over here. About is version 1.0, go back and all those stuff. Are you guys getting that one? Now, interestingly, our one path is created. And what is that path? /about. Right now, we are seeing everything over here. We'll handle that. But you understand that? Whenever I go /about will be visible. Make sense? Now, let's make another path, home route. What is the home route, anyone? /. Just a /, right? Let's create a route for that one. Now see, I would say I've created just one route. I'll create one more route. See here. I'll say route and I'll say path is equal to just a /. Make sense? Element. Now what element I want to open here? Interestingly, I'll show you. I have a U effect. Remember, we have imported that as well. So I say, okay, U effect, right? Call this U effect and close this route path as well. Element is equal to U effect. Now, if I hit refresh, did I use the right name? We are on about. Sorry. We are on about. Sorry. If I just come here and I hit enter. Do you guys see that? On the route, on the home route, do you see that this is the home route? When you run your application, this is the home route. It is called / route. Make sense? On the /, do you see that the value of count is 0 and it is coming up? And there is no about here. Right? Still, this is shown. Don't worry about that. But because I have not included that in the paths as yet. Remember, I have not included that in the routes. So look at that. If I go to /about, what will happen? If I somehow go to /about, I'll say /about. If I hit enter, look at that. Do you guys see something interesting? That it is changing. First it was U effect, and now it is what? About. Are you guys getting that one? Now see here. Instead of, look at that. I'm about to do something really cool. Instead of bringing up U effect on the home route, look at that what I'll do. Instead of bringing this element U effect, and we usually put this path as the first path. Are you guys getting that? Just for the purpose of keeping that, standard in mind. Now listen, instead of calling this U effect over here, if I do something interesting, I put a fragment here. First of all, fragment, right? I'm putting, rather than putting an element name, I'm putting the code over here of JSX. You know what I mean? And what JSX code? Look at that. I'll just make it bigger, so that I want to show you that everything. So I'll go to my top and see here from the show at task till this point, I cut it from here. I've left the header, remember. Are you guys getting that one? I've left the header. I've just done this one and come and paste that in between the fragment. How many of you guys understood this one? Instead of, you remember what we bring here as a component. So what component returns? The JSX. So can I write directly the JSX? Yes. I'll write directly written down the JSX. So what effectively I'm saying? On my home route, this should run. Are you getting that one? On my home route, this code should run. This component should run, so to speak. But this is not a component. I've directly written the JSX. Now see here. See the application now. If I come back there, look at that. On about, just about. And if I go here, do you guys understand that one? Right? Yes. Wonderful. We'll do the rest of them, but you understand? We have set up two routes only here. We have set up a home route. Home route is showing this tasks and everything. But when I go to /about, it shows me the another path. So we have two routes right now. Make sense? We'll create more of them, don't worry. But let's play with them at least. Do you remember that I've left some links empty? Do you remember that? In our about and remember in about and footer, I've left some empty. So see here. Do you know that now I have got an about path? So can I write over here? Look at that. I'm just looking at that, what I'm doing. In my footer, I've just written out /about. Do you understand? Whenever someone clicks on you, you go to /about. Make sense? In the same way, I've left one link in the about, which says go back. Go back means go to home. And how can I access home here? Anyone? /. You guys getting that one? I said that whenever someone clicks you, go back. So it takes to the home path. Remember home path we have? And whenever someone clicks on the footer, it goes to /about. Are you following now? Following? Now see here. This is very interesting. Now we don't need to manually now do something. Let's save that. And let's run that one. Now see. If I come here and I click on this about. Just look at that. When I hit on about. I hit about opens up. And when I hit go back, my home comes up. Isn't that interesting? Yes.
So when you leave the path empty, it goes back.
No, when you leave the path slash is the home path. It's typically you know I have defined that. Look at that. That's what I want you to understand. Look at that. I've defined this path. It's actually / is the home route. What is the home route? You made an application and you say that whenever user clicks on my website, first page should be this one. So that first page that you want to show to user is called home route. Your home route. Make sense? In the same way, we have created this home route. When we are going to home route, we are seeing this one. And when somehow we are going to about, look what we are looking at. When we are somehow reaching to about, look at that. We are in about route. So about route just shows the about component. And when I go to go back is, it's not go back is taking me back. Go back is taking me to the home. Just remember that. I've written down go back. I should change that. You know, maybe you are confused with the naming convention. So I'll say not go back. I'll say go home, for example. Make sense? Because anyhow it is taking us to the home. Now come here. Click on this. Go home. Yes. So go home. Or if I make another route, let's do another route. You know, you will understand it a bit more. If I come here and after that I copy this and I paste it again. And what I do, I say path is a /. For example, I say U effect. You remember U effect? So I say U effect. So I'm calling this path as U effect. And what I bring here, I'll bring it U effect. Are you getting that one? I have another route. Now see here. If I go back, first of all, I have two routes working. This is home route. This is about route. Now, if I just, because manually I've not used the links anywhere. If I manually come here and I write U effect and hit enter, look at that. Do I get the U effect as well? Yeah, sure. This is app.jsx. Scroll up over here. You want to see this route, right? Path. Look at that, what I've done. And anyone, if there's a confusion, I would like to just clear that one because I've copied from this yellow curly bracket to this yellow curly bracket of this task.length, right? Everything.
And
This one?
right,
Sorry?
no, in the element.
Yeah, this is fragments.
Right.
And why did I use fragments, anyone? Because I had this statement. And remember, whenever there is a JSX, it has to be wrapped around in one wrapper. Remember everyone? So I've wrapped it around in the wrapper, which will not produce its code by the way. Wrapper will, like this fragment will not produce its own code. Yes, Norman, are you following along with the code?
I'm trying to understand that.
Okay, wonderful. Do you understand this one? So how many routes we have? We have 3 routes right now. /, we have /about, and we have /ueffect. And I was telling you, so just don't be confused by go home or go back. Whatever path I will use there, it will just go to that path. You know what I mean? I'll show you. Let's go to our about again. And I'm just look at that. Rather than go home, I say, I say go home, but I write here ueffect. And do you know what will happen now? Can you guess what will happen? If I go to about and I say go home, will it go home? Like, will it go to the home route? No. Where it will go? It will go to ueffect. Because the path that I used was the ueffect. Did you get that one? I have done this for you. So don't be confused with the name or something. Whatever path you will give, it will go there. Yeah.
I just got confused because of the file you uploaded was from section 2. And when I saw the code, there was a home route here and the code that you uploaded. And then when on the code,
I uploaded the wrong code.
yeah, the section 2
No,
was okay.
no problem.
No,
Okay. Oh, I always do this mixing,
no problem.
It's really bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So are you guys getting that one? Now we have got what? We have got the like 3 paths over here. But I want to tell you something, a real little catch here. Look at the little catch, which is killing the React purpose. When I clicked on about, look at that. When I click on about, actually about opens. But can you guys keep an eye on my refresh button and read icon? Keep an eye on these two when I click on that. When I click here, I click go home, wherever it is taking. Do you guys see my spinning icon and the re button? Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Whenever I am clicking on this homes and ahrefs, actually, what is happening? It is making HTTP requests. It is making what? And do you remember that we have sold out this React because of this very reason? That everything should be done asynchronously in React. Literally what is happening when I click on this about or go home, it actually goes to the server, like whatever server we have running, the Vite server, and it says, okay, bring me that component, which is not the case. So how to handle that? Are you guys getting that one? What we are trying to handle? We are trying to handle this refreshing. Again, I'll show you if you have missed out, if someone missed out. Look at that. When I am clicking go effect, look at my spinning icons. They are all spinning. Why? Because I'm using ahrefing. Ahref will always create an HTTP request. Are you understanding that real technical question? Ahref always make an HTTP request. Instead, React Router DOM provides us something very cool. Guys, we understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what did I say?
So the pages changes, but it doesn't read.
It should not reload. The component should come back, like component should change, but it should not make a request, HTTP request. Now see how we'll do that. Let's first of all do that on our footer. Let's do that on footer first. Come to the footer. Now, instead of using anchor, you would have seen, if the code is there, you would have seen that. So instead, what we do, we will import something called link. Link from React Router DOM. We will link from React Router DOM. Make sense? After that, what I'll do, I will comment this out because I don't want this one. Rather, I will use the link. And link is called 2 is equal to about /about, and about will be over here. Are you guys getting that one? And again, if you have the code, you would have seen that. Now I'll just come here and I'll show you. If I come and click on about, look at that. Okay, go home and now see that. If I click on about, do you guys see that? Again, go home is doing the refreshing, but look at that about when I click on about. Do you see that? It means I need to make a change over there as well. In what? In our about component. So look at that. I will not use anchor, rather what I'll use? Link. Link 2 is equal to, now where I want to take it? I want to take it to home, by the way, right? So I'll just put it over here and I'll say go home. And I hit save and my program will go out. Why? Because I need to import the link. Make sense, everyone? I need to import the link from React Router DOM. Now see here. If I refresh and now look at my things, you see that Do you look at my refresh button? Nothing changes. There is no problem over here. Does that make sense to everyone? This is good. So what it is doing? It's actually doing what? Now there is no refresh, and now it is making asynchronous call. Link actually links it internally, and there is no asynchronous call. There is no HTTP request. Rather, all are asynchronous calls, and all these components are coming behind the scene. Nothing is happening as a refresh. Make sense? Now here in the other section, as I did in the other section, I just gave a task and I did not do that over here. Do you guys see that home component over here? There is a home component. Do you see the home component? What is that inside home component? There are maybe 3 or 4 links have been written. Now, here is the practice that you have to do. We'll take a break now, right now as well. And after the break, I will ask you guys to just complete that one. There is a home component, right? I want are you not using the same code that I shared on that one, or you are using your previous code? Your own code. That's why you don't have that. But anyhow, I will share that one. I'll show you that we can create a new component home. And on that home component, you just have to make a home component introductory. It will just show task tracker version 1.10, whatever, and it will have 4 links, maybe. Do you see that? How many links are there? There should be a home link, there should be a about link, there should be a tasks link, and there can be U effect or something link, 3 or 4 links. And you have to make them so that when I click on that home page comes, and I click on that, and then tasks come. I click on that, then U effect comes. I click on that, then about comes. Make sense, everyone? So this is the task, the class task for today. And what I'll do is that we will just you can just start working on. In 5 to 10 minutes, we'll just take a break, and then we'll just continue with that one. So all of you, and again, since some people have got the code, so I will help all of the others. What I want you to just come here in our components, create a new file and call it home.jsx. And in that home.jsx, which I'm creating for you, again, I'm not writing the right code, but I'm just giving you something. So you want to say, for example, home. You want to write this one, and you say, for example, tasks. You want to write this one, and you may want to say, for example, about, and you maybe U effect, something like that. So this is a home component, and what I want from you that this home component should be on the app, on the route path, on the home route. Make sense? On the home route, it should be visible, and when user comes here, user clicks on home, this itself home opens. User clicks on task, then the tasks should open. This one, the tasks, these should open when the user clicks on the tasks. Make sense? I would expect all of you to just start that one. I'll give 10 minutes here, and after that, we'll just continue with the rest of them. Yeah, sure. What? And try to make this component as beautiful as possible. Maybe try to bring a picture here, some picture. Yeah. Sorry?
And then slash, how does it that you need to return back to home?
Okay. So were you even listening to me for the last 1 hour? I'm really shocked to have your question, because I have said that repetitively, maybe hundreds of times. Can you explain that? Because you're laughing. Of course, you know that context, right? I want you to be satisfied, because you're asking this question. I'm really shocked to have that question.
Actually, I thought it's a link and it's not a path.
Sorry? It's a link.
Slash.
Slash is a link.
And
Okay. So why do you think that like it's a link?
in the previous class, we were talking about the links only. Like, index.html and href index.html or any other .html. So not you need to place home and
Okay, so listen, actually, we have, do you remember that app.jsx, we have created routes there? One route is simple /. One route is slash about. One route is slash u effect. Are you understanding that one? Those are the paths that are referred over here. If you just write /, you are accessing first path. If you write / about, you are accessing about path. So it's actually the path. You are right, it's link, but it's the path that we have defined. Make sense?
Yeah. So it's just returning back to the.
No, you are again going wrong. It's not returning back. It's opening that path that we have defined over there. Whatever is opening over there will open. It does not take you back. And I said that also maybe 5 times. It's not taking us back. It's actually opening the path. Make sense? If I show you something here, and please touch footer. Now tell me, what is this 2 is equal to slash about? What is this slash about? It's a path. And where is it? Where we have defined that? In app.jsx. Wonderful. Look at that. It's this about, right? So now we are accessing. It means that whenever I will access this slash about anywhere, which element will open? About. Whenever I access u effect anywhere, which element will open? Effect. Whenever I access just the /, what will happen? The home route will open. The task and everything, that everything. Make sense? I do really hope that it makes sense.
The header.
Right, that's wonderful. Header and footer are out of the routes. So just routes are dealing with these things coming and going. Footer will always be there, header will always be there.
And about any only.
Just add, right.
And now, what you have to do, this home component that I want you to create, on this home component, you will create 4 links, link, and they will be linked to the paths. Yeah.
I can look. You can stop.
Anjay, I tried that link. Wonderful. You have done that? Okay.
But for some reason, the page turns out to be maybe people to it. Or
Maybe there's, just go to the the console and try to find out that. Sorry? About.js.
But it's not repeating them.
It's here.
I'm not.
Okay, so I would like to see some of the outputs. I'm just stopping this.